All right, so what this is asking you here is to make an equilateral triangle and a hexagon. You know, we would use these intersections, right, to make our hexagon or equilateral triangle. So all I'm going to do is to make that six-sided figure from connecting these points, right? So we have that. I mean, you can use a ruler, but just for in the interest of time, I'm just using this line here, right? So that's my hexagon I'm drawing here, just by connecting these dots of the intersection. So that's a hexagon right there. And then I can also draw my equilateral triangle up here. I can do that. It's sloppy, but you get the idea, right? So this is all it's asking you to do. So once you create these circles here, and you use these intersection points here, like we did in class. I don't remember, it was 1.4 or 1.3. I don't remember which one. But we use this construction of these circles here. Remember how you make these circles here? It's like you can go here and let me make a construction exactly like this. How this was actually created is, and my compass want to give me some trouble here. So I am going to try to replicate this here. Is that the radius? Yeah, it's about that. So how those circles were made, uh, you would actually get a center of a circle there. You make one circle, then you would make another circle, and then at this intersection here, you come over here and you make another circle, right? I'm just reproducing those circles that we have up there, right? Then you would come here at all the intersections. That's how this whole figure was made, right? You come here, you make another circle, and then up at this intersection here, you would make another circle, right? And then lastly, this one here, it's not exact because I'm going very quickly. So this is how you make that figure that we had, that we can construct these hexagon and equilateral triangles. So I will just connect if I can just go back here, I can connect these intersections now to make my, that didn't go well. Let's see here. How do I take that off? All right, so I'm gonna now take my intersections here. Oh boy. Let's try that again. Get rid of this. This guy is coming up and giving me a hard time. Anyway, you see what I'm trying? I was just trying to replicate this thing again on these circles that I made, but I erased one of the circles. Now, I'm still having people having trouble with creating a perpendicular bisector. So if a perpendicular bisector is a line drawn in the center here at points that are equidistant at all times from both A and B, right? So in this case here, all we need to do is to get our compass and we go here and we make not necessarily a circle, but we need to make an arc at the top and one at the bottom, right? I mean, we've been making circles, but we really actually don't need the whole circle, right? I mean, all we need to do is to have an arc up top. I don't know why it's not getting me through. So here, maybe it's too close to the end. All right. All right, let me make a full circle. Circle here, and then with the same radius, I'm going to make another circle over here. So if you notice, these two intersections here are where these 2 points are equidistant from, A is equidistant from here to here. These two same distance. This A to here is the same distance from here to B. And once we do that, we can take our rulers and join those 2 points. And this here would be our perpendicular bisector, right? Boom, that's it. I mean, I still see people not being able to do this, right? These two circles, these intersections confirms it doesn't matter how wide how big the circle is, but once you make sure uh, that these circles intersect at 2 points, one above and below. Yes, Charles. Down here is going to be a right angle. This is going to be a right angle right here, right? You can certainly take that to the bank because it's money. So the next thing here is we're trying to construct a perpendicular bisector, but they tell us where to put this bisector must pass through. So in this case, it seems as though this is already in the center, right? So if I take my compass here and I make a circle, the reason why I'm making a circle, let's see if this is equidistant. Seems to be equidistant, but I'm going to make a circle right here. Seems as though I don't have enough space here. Oh, it's not equidistant, it's just slightly off. So where this intersects here is equidistant from this point F. So now I know that this intersection here is equidistant from this point here. I am going to make two circles of the same radius from these 2 points of intersection. All right. The circle is not what is important, but these two intersection points. And if you notice, these 2 points, as well as this point F, are going to be on the same line. So what I'm going to do is to get my ruler again, and I am going to make that line pass through. Let's make sure it's just a little bit over. Let's see here. And I am going to draw a line that is going to be my bisector through right through there. Right? Thank you, Angelina. So that is what you do to construct a perpendicular bisector through a line through that point here on this segment here. Now, what about this one here? We're trying to do a perpendicular bisector for a point not on the line, right? So we want this bisector to come through this point P at a right angle to AB. So the first thing you need to do is to take your compass up here, right? So this is important because these are some of the constructions we're using. So you take your compass up here, and we're trying to measure 2 points on this line that are equidistant from that. So I might have to close this a little bit because I have to make sure that it cuts this line twice, right? So I have to make sure that this cuts this line twice. So this is too big as well. All right, I can do this now, or maybe a little smaller, and I can make the circle here now. So you see now I have 2 points on this line that are equidistant from where the bisector is going to cut. So once I do that now, I come here at the intersection, right? I'm here at the intersection, right? I don't have much space to work with, so this is a little bit annoying, right? Once this is a little more than this segment here, I can make my circle right here. Come on. It's not giving me space, right? And once I make that circle there, I go at the other intersection here because I know this point is the same distance as it would be from that perpendicular bisector, and I make my circle there. So now I know the perpendicular bisector is going to pass through that point P. So I get my ruler out again, and I'm going to make that pass through that point right there, right? It's just a little difficult to get my ruler straightened. And I'm going to draw my line through there. And there you have it. That's the perpendicular line through that point P. And this is my perpendicular bisector. Uh, right, Miles? Now, this other one is to draw a parallel line through this point, right? So we're trying to get a line parallel here. So the first thing we're going to do, remember when we're drawing parallel lines, we try, if two lines are parallel, right? And we have a transversal, oh, this angle must be equal to that angle, right? So we're trying to replicate that. So the same thing here, we're trying to do that, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get something that represents kind of a transversal coming up here. Yeah, yeah. So let's do that again. So once I get my transversal there, I will get my compass and I will come here and I will make a circle of radius this distance, right? So once I make that circle here, I will make a second circle of the same radius. The reason why I'm making a second circle here, because I want to make sure that this distance from here to here is the same as this distance from here to here, right? So I'm going to make another circle right here, right? Now, because I want to replicate this angle, these two angles here, I have to make sure this angle is the same as the angle at the top here to that line that I'm trying to create. So what I'm going to do, I am going to take a measurement of the size of the angle, right? By doing this. Because I know when I move this up here and that angle is the same, my parallel line is going to come right here. So I'm going to make the circle here. And I know now that this angle down here is going to be equal to that angle. And I'm just going to get my ruler and connect that intersection and this point here. And my parallel line is going to be right across here. And that's the thing of beauty, right? Does that make sense? All right. So I know some of you get this, but I'm still trying to make sure that everyone gets this, right? So that's my parallel line here that I've created using this construction, right? Now, this last one here, I need to inscribe a square inside here, right? So what I need to do